Hi everyone, my name is Donnisa. I'm an Adult Services Librarian at the Xenia branch here at the Greene County Public Libraries. So welcome, and today we're going to be making this charming little spring wreath made out of clothespins and a felt flower. So these are what we call take and make. So what you can do is you can come into our Greene County Xenia branch and pick up, as long as supplies last, pick up this nice little what we call a take and make bag, and it includes all the supplies within it. So inside of our take and make bag here, you'll find first and foremost a wreath form. This is just a wire wreath form that you will attach your clothespins to. Okay, so let's start with the clothespins. We'll put these around the wreath. And let me just mention a few other supplies that you will need. These are the ones that come within the take and make bag, but you will need a few extra things like a pair of scissors. And you'll need a pen, something to trace the leaves out and the petals out from the felt. And also glue. I'm using a glue gun here. You can use that. If you don't have that, some sort of tacky glue should work as well. So you're going to, when you attach your clips, you're going to do it in an alternating pattern, as you can see with the one I made previously. The clips will be, just in this alternating pattern. So we're going to make use of the first and second rings of our wreath form here, this wire wreath form. First and second rings. So the first one, just pick anywhere, go ahead and start wherever you like, but let's attach this to the first two rings. Now the way you do that is you'll see on your clothespin, as they all have, a large hole and a secondary hole. So let's take that large hole and attach it to the inner ring, okay? So you'll attach that, maybe you can see. And also the second ring will go into that little secondary hole there, and that will just kind of hold things securely. Okay? Alrighty. Now the next one, you'll attach the large hole to the middle ring. Okay? That one's a little easier. Okay, so as you can see, it will start to form an alternating pattern. If there were not this divider here, I'd add one more clothespin, but there is the divider, so I can't add another one. So that's the perfect place to put my flower, and it will cover that up. Okay, so inside your bag, you'll find a piece of felt, and this one is lavender. There may be some other colors you'll find, but this is what you'll use to trace your petals out of. You'll also find a couple of gray strips, rectangle strips, and these will form the inner part of the flower, that stamen area. You'll also find a couple of green squares of felt, and you'll make your leaves out of this. Okay, so to start, we will take our little petal form. It's just made out of cardboard, and you'll lay it down on your felt, and we're going to make 8 of these. So I'm just going to trace 8 of these and then cut them out. I use that same template, the same petal template, and cut out 2 leaves. But what we'll do is we'll shape these a little, maybe like into a little bit of a point before we attach them. Okay, so let's set all that aside, and let's start with our little, these 2 little gray rectangles. So if you take the smallest, the most narrow one, we're going to tie a double knot in this. So let's, right there in the middle. So let's start with, let's just go ahead and do the one right in the middle there. Okay, there we go, there's one. And then just tie another knot right on top of that. And that will form, okay, there we go. This will form the very center of our flower. Okay, so let's set that aside and take the other charcoal strip here. Now this, we're going to kind of make a fringe out of it. So take your scissors and then just clip down about 2/3 of the way. So as you can see, I've got my fringe here. Okay, so now we're going to need our glue. So I've got my glue gun nice and warm here. So I'm going to run a strip of glue right at the base of my fringe here. Okay, so I've got my strip, and now I've got my center, my double knot here, and I'm just going to attach it right down here at the bottom, and I'm going to roll my fringe around that center knot Okay, I think that will work. So now if you look, let me spread my fringe out just a bit. You'll see that bit of that center knot down in the middle. It also forms a little, two little strips at the bottom you can hold it with. Okay, so now we're going to just take our petals and put just a little dollop of glue here at the pointed end of the petal. So let's just put a little dollop there. Okay, just like that. Hold that on a moment. I'm going to put my other one directly across from it because the idea is that I want 4 initially, and I'll put the other 2 in these 2 openings, and then I'll come back with the next 4 and put those in the openings around that. So that will give it a nice kind of a double look. Okay, so I've got all 8 of my petals attached, initially first 4 and then the next 4 kind of right in those open spaces, and then it kind of looks kind of like a bit of a double layer there. And you can always take your scissors if you like, if you want to shape them a little bit, you know, you can do that, like maybe kind of give it a little bit of shape here and there, kind of maybe give it a little bit more of a natural look, and that's just certainly totally optional. So okay, so now let's do the same with our green felt. I've actually gone ahead and cut those out. I use that same petal form, but to make it look more like a leaf, I'm just going to trim off just a little bit. I'm just going to bring it to a point because we've got a rounded edge. So I'm going to do the same with the other one. Instead of the kind of a rounded tip, I'm just going to bring it a little bit to a point, kind of like that. Okay, so now I'm going to just snip the these 2 little strips that I've been using to hold onto the flower with and make it just kind of nice and flat on the bottom. Okay, now let's add a little glue to the bottom, and then we're just going to attach it to the wreath itself. So remember I said I have a little bit of an opening here at the top. I'm just going to attach my flower right over there so that way you can't see that little opening too much. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back and put a little dollop of glue on each leaf and then just tuck it in here and then the other one over there. And guess what, folks? We're finished. Well, I hope you really enjoyed making our clothespin wreath today. And please drop by the Xenia Library. And as long as supplies last, feel free to pick up one of our little clothespin wreaths. And I hope you enjoyed making it. Thanks for joining us.